I haven't been on a train and I can't tell you how many years it's been. So Jake and I rode the train in, and they're much nicer than when I rode them. I don't think they had padded seats back when I was... In fact, I'm sure they didn't. I remember sitting on very hard plastic seats. Well, these were nice, I guess, newish kind of trains. So, and it was empty. Ah, it's nice and cool in here. Until we reached a certain stop, and then it filled up with a whole bunch of people all going to see the Yankee game. Yeah, packed. And Jake and I had chosen one of those seats that's like in a booth with the two facing instead of picking just two seats a row. And I looked at him like, yeah, good choice. But the two guys across from us were very nice, very friendly. And then everybody got off at 125th Street, because I guess that's where you get off to go to the stadium. I don't know. The ticket guy always reminds me of a bygone era. It's never changed. Anyway, we continued on into Grand Central Station, where I've not been in years. I haven't been down here in a while. We were hungry, and I really was promising Jake, I'll buy you some good food once we get there. Well, the timing wasn't great. He wanted to get food at Shake Shack, which is in Grand Central. They have really good burgers and fries, and we were ordering, and then he looked at his watch and said, it's going to take too long to get this. So what did we end up eating? We had hot dogs. I had a hot dog and a pretzel. I shared Jake, and he had a hot dog and a potato knish, which we ate in Grand Central, and then we went into the subway system. I should say down into the subway system. There he was again. One of my least favorite places. But what's interesting for me was several people wearing masks again. I guess we all should be. I was not. And, when I used to ride the subway, I used to sit there and watch people. And people got a certain look on their faces in the subway. Any kind of mass transit or places that you've seen horror movies of, or murder movies, cop movies. Lots of stuff happens in the subways. I don't know. There's something about being down in that train, the looks on people's faces. And then to be sitting on the train and seeing masks and looking, so then all you really see is the eyes. They really stand out. It was like looking at muzzled dogs or prisoners with things over their face and these eyes, because you'd see eyes that were trying to be tough, trying to project, don't mess with me, boredom, fatigue. I don't know, just a lot. See a lot in the eyes. I once saw a baby on a subway years ago. I may have talked about this before, but you know how they say like all babies are cute? It's not true. Some are downright ugly. I'm sure they grow into beautiful people. They say some of the ugliest babies grow into the most beautiful people. I'm sure this kid grew into the most handsome man in the world, because he was probably a year old or less, and sitting in a stroller and looking right at me. And he looked like this little old man. Oh, it was funny. And I'll tell you flat out, I don't like subways. I think I'm a little claustrophobic. Who am I kidding? I'm a lot claustrophobic. One of my worst nightmares is the idea of shimmying my way into a big metal pipe that you can barely move in, and getting in there and getting stuck with your head halfway in. Yeah, I think I'm claustrophobic. Definitely. You people that go cave diving, I think the term is spelunking. Well, you're spelunking crazy, that's what I think. Yeah, that's right up there with climbing Mount Everest and all those other mountains of death. No. I don't like to be really high up, obviously, because I don't like to fly. And I don't like being underground. But we were leaving to go during rush hour to go see this performance, and That would have meant we've been driving for a very long time, sitting in rush hour. Jake, who is a pro at going into the city and working now, always takes the train. So I said, okay, you will be my protector, and now I can be the little kid and you can be the adult, and you get me there. We went into the city to go to see a performance of my dear friend, Gail Scott. It's her daughter, Olivia Paris. It's her stage name. She is a lovely 19-year-old girl who is a wonderful singer-songwriter and, comes from a very musical parents. Father is a professional musician, and her mother is a wonderful singer and musician, so it's not surprising that Olivia has the talents that she does. Anyway, we went to see her in what will be her final New York City performance because she's actually moving to Chicago to tackle the music scene in that area. There were 9 acts. It was called the Writer's Block or something like that. So it's all young, singer-songwriters doing their original music. Each one would do 3 songs, and then there'd be about 5-minute or so changeover, and the next act would come on, which was really interesting because, you got to see a lot of different people. I think it was really good for Jake to see others. I mean, he has, but in that rapid succession of the singer-songwriter kind of thing, you learn what to do and you learn what not to do. Some were good, some were not so good. There were some good ones, but by far, head and shoulders above the rest was Olivia, because she's got something. She's really, really talented in all aspects: songwriting, music, melody writing, her lyrics, her musicality. She played just her guitar that night, but she plays guitar, drums, and piano, and she's got a beautiful voice, really beautiful voice. It was wonderful. I'm gonna put a few clips in here, and I'll put in some information about Olivia so that you can follow her and get to know her music, download her music. She's really good, really, really good.
Me in the dark, and I love this. And you're off with me and on with her. Though it breaks my heart, I broke yours first. And when you're on with me and on.
This song is called Best of You.
Cold-hearted collateral damage. We had it all, now we're empty-handed. If it's meant to be, it'll be. And though you want nothing to do with me, no, I'll always be proud of you. Watching you from a distance, I can't see through all your resistance. I hear the girls sing like you, a voice so soft and baby blue. Would you stay if I asked you to? I hope you don't think so poorly of me. What if you say I'm an awful human being? I'm trying, I'm growing, I'm learning. Am I showing? And say you did too, 'cause I'll always miss the best of you. The best of you. Shattered glass, trace of a bullet. The rifle you hold makes no excuses. Swiftly you wrote with the shoe fit, collected the ammo to shoot it. Tell me, what did I do to you? Oh, I hope you don't think so poorly of me. What else is new? You should tell me. Awful human being. I'm trying, I'm growing, I'm learning. Am I showing? And say you did too. But for now I miss the best of you. to you. Pull the trigger, go figure. I had nothing to live for. Tore my heart into pieces to break me down. The nitpicker was so bitter. Cut this tie with mean old scissors. The one I come home became the killer. I hope you don't think so poorly of me. What else is new? You should tell me. Awful human being. I'm trying, I'm growing, I'm learning. If I show and I hope you can soon. But for now I'll miss the best of
We were at this pumpkin patch, and they have the best glazed donuts I've ever had in my whole life. And I just love it there. It's so amazing, and it's like, it's kind of ironic, like you can feel at home in a place that's like so random.
I find myself lost in trees of warmth and orange. Don't go looking for me, I'm gone. Your hometown's one in a million, 'cause you're the one living in it, and your family's a million and one. And I feel something so strong. The crowded city makes me so small. Tell me about your dreams, is it here in NYC? You're autumn, baby, that's why I love fall. Cinnamon inside a blend. I taste your lips to clear my head. Kiss me more, I'm blushing red. I hear the wind from miles away, whispering stay. Home is with you and not a place. And I feel something so strong. The crowded city makes me so small. Tell me about your dreams, is it here in NYC? You're autumn, baby, that's what I love for. I find myself lost in trees of warmth and orange. Don't go looking for me, I'm good.
Check her out because she's really good. And it was a fun night. And what was also fun is I got to hang with, my two of my longest time friends, and one of them brought her son. His name is Jack, and Jake and he sort of grew up together. That's not the correct grammar, I know. But they hadn't seen each other since they literally were like 7 years old, I think. 8 years old at the most, maybe not even that. And they just clicked and hit it off again, so that was great. I had one margarita, small one. Jake had 4 drinks. And, he doesn't act drunk. He handles his liquor very, very well. But, he was with the guys. They were hanging out after the show, and they were all drinking. So when it was time to go home, I'm relying on this kid to get me back, thinking, okay, we got to do the subway in reverse now. I didn't want to do that at that time, but I said, why don't we just get a cab? He said, there's no cabs around here. This was down down in the villages area, so it's not as easy to get cabs, but we got lucky. One came right away. In the cab is when he told me, he said, I'm drunk. I said, what? You can't be drunk. You have to get me home. I don't know how to do this. Well, he was fine. He got us to the right train. And I was so tired in that train driving home. He wasn't. But I just was falling asleep. It takes about an hour 20 from Grand Central to our stop. And I was glad to have a big, strong son, even though he was slightly drunk there. He takes the train all the time. And I don't know, trains at night, alone. Yeah, and our stop, by the time you get there, there's practically nobody left on the train. Well, anyway, all's well that ends well, and it was a lovely night. And Jake wanted more food because we didn't have that much, obviously, before the show. So he wanted to get another hot dog on the street, so he went to the vendor right next to Grand Central and got another hot dog and another potato knish, and I got another pretzel. It was terrible. I ate half of it. But it was fun. It was an adventure, something different, and we had a good time together, so